So with Obstagoon Community Day, I wanted to use it in Go Battle League now that I have the shiny. I found Yonkis, a fellow Pogo tuber. He had a team that had Obstagoon in his Summer Cup team, so decided to run that. It's all shiny. Talonflame on the lead, Obstagoon safe swap, or not Obstagoon safe swap, Vigoroth safe swap, and Obstagoon in the back. Obviously, you can swap into Obstagoon if it's a better matchup, but in Wigglytuff's case, those charms would be dealing super effective. So brought in Vigoroth, able to take a shield and get most of the Wigglytuff down. I am going to shield this, should be Ice Beam, and then farm the rest of the way down. And I think it just insta flame charge when we get to it. Crustle's not too great for my team. Obviously, it's a better answer to the Talonflame, so they're going to swap in their Swampert. And I'll just go for Night Slashes. I thought about running Obstruct, since that's the new Community Day move, but I think Cross Chop Night Slash or even Hyper Beam Night Slash are just better options overall against pretty much any meta. I did watch Zionic's video with Obstruct where he went for the Night Slash boost and then essentially baited with Obstruct to get the shields while they were scared, but still I'd rather just have Cross Chop, especially when you're dealing with I don't know, like a rock type like Crustle. Granted, the bug type I believe resists fighting, so it just ends up being neutral anyway. But lost this one, but it was a close game. Good game to my opponent. Into the next one. Swampert lead, pretty bad for a Talonflame. Decided to shield the first Hydro Cannon, and I think I want to go for a Brave Bird here. Just to see. No, I just charge up the energy and swap in Obstagoon. Maybe it would have been wise to go for the Brave Bird, thinking that the opponent might not shield, thinking it's a Flame Charge bait. But I let this Earthquake go. Swampert's going to have to get to 2 moves anyway to take out this Obstagoon, so whether it was Hydro Cannon or Earthquake didn't really make that much of a difference to me. And they bring in Venusaur, but I go for Night Slash, which does neutral to Venusaur, as opposed to the resisted Cross Chop and counters. So I'm going to go for a Flame Charge, bring in Talonflame against the Venusaur. They shield it, and at this point I should be able to just farm down with that attack boost. Yeah, that does a crazy amount of damage. And they will bring in, I'm thinking the Swampert, yeah. So here I throw the Brave Bird just to get the Swampert out of here. They might have a Hydro Cannon stored, I don't quite remember how much energy they had. But I get to another Brave Bird against this Marowak, and this should pretty much insta-KO. They have a sliver left, so I bring in the Vigoroth just to show what's in the back to my opponent, in case they were curious and don't get to see this video. But Trevenant lead, probably one of the best leads for Talonflame. Seed Bomb is not going to do much at all, probably about as much as one of my Incinerates did against him. And I throw the Flame Charge, trying to ramp up my attack for whatever comes in. And a Wigglytuff is not very scary for Talonflame, considering it's a fire type. But we'll start getting some shields, and they should take us out before we take them out, but we might get another shield. And we do. So I'm definitely going to bring in Vigoroth here, simply because that Obstagoon takes super effective damage from the charms. Shield and Obstruct, so you guys get to see it in action. It is decently useful, I guess, if you play it right, but I could just swap out to clear the debuff on the Vigoroth, especially considering Obstagoon wasn't going to have very much play against this Wigglytuff anyway. So coming with Vigoroth, and they're at a move. It's going to be really close, but I do barely survive, and the counter goes through to clear that debuff. So a Beedrill leading the next battle. They are going to insta-swap. And I don't really have an amazing answer to Noctowl, considering it is a flying type. So the counters will do neutral, because of the normal, taking normal and flying type. But at least I'm not a fighting type with Vigoroth or Obstagoon, so I'm not going to be taking super effective damage from the Sky attacks. And I will be resisting the Shadow Ball, especially on Obstagoon. Heavily resisting the Shadow Ball. So I take a couple Sky attacks. I don't feel like using the shields for that. And I believe I come in with Obstagoon here. Gonna run out the timer just for switch clock's sake. And I think I want to farm down the whole way. Not gonna shield the Sky attack just because it's not gonna do too much damage. And we'll see what they come in with next. Makes sense for them to bring the Beedrill in, simply because it's not going to have any play against the Talonflame. So I throw a Night Slash, and another Night Slash. I'd like to be able to come in with Talonflame here and just incinerate down the Beedrill, which I do, but I had to come in with the Snipe, because they could have easily just swapped into their last Pokemon. So they have an Obstagoon in the back. I'm just going to throw flame charges because they've got to shield something. I've got to shield something at some point. But I think I'm definitely in the better position here, having two shields against an Obstagoon. Now maybe this scenario would be a good use of Obstruct on the opposing Obstagoon, but I'm not sure that they have. I'm not sure that they have it. Correct me if I'm wrong if that was a different match that the Obstagoon had Obstruct. I'm going to save this last shield for my own Obstagoon, and another close win. So I think I recorded about a set and a half, so 7 or 8 battles. We're getting close to the end of this. Poliwrath lead, I'm definitely going for the Brave Bird. I don't usually like to bait when it's life or death for the opponent. And I'm going to hope they don't shield this, but either way, I can hop out into Vigoroth or something else if they did. So, they come in with the Abomasnow because Talonflame would rip that apart. So, my opponents are making pretty good plays. This team is a pretty solid team. Maybe not the best team I've used in Summer Cup, but still not bad. I'm pretty pleased with my opponent's skill level too. It seems like in general, Go Battle League players, trainers are learning a lot, hopefully from other YouTubers. That's one of the reasons I wanted to start doing commentary on my videos, because you can learn a lot more just by hearing why you do what you do when you battle. Plus, it's a good way for me to improve my own gameplay. So this should be just a Weather Ball. Gonna let it go through. One of us should start using our shields in the case that we're trying to actually win, but I don't really have to use mine until he uses his. So neither of us did use shields, and that's the end of the battle. Now Walrein lead, not too great for this team, because I bring in Vigoroth and then they can just dip out into their own safe swap, which just so happens to be their own Vigoroth. I'm not really worried about shielding, just because I feel like if I can get ahead on shields, I can come in with Obstagoon and close this out, or even come in with Talonflame to farm down, maybe throw a Brave Bird or a Flame Charge at the Walrein when it comes back in. So I'm not sure which I decide to come in with, but I am going to run out the timer for the switch clock's sake. I come in with Talonflame, so I'm going to save the shields just because the Talonflame's not going to have much play against Walrein. And I insta-swap knowing that they're going to come in with Walrein. Try to get a little bit ahead on energy before they swap out. And they have an Ariados, which is not great for me. But let's see how it plays out. They're going to throw a lunge. I probably should have shielded that, but I didn't. I can shield the next one since they got the defense drop. And so maybe that was the right play anyway, because their poison stings don't deal too much damage. But This was probably a mistake considering I should have shielded. But I was thinking I could come in with Talonflame and farm down the Ariados and maybe somehow get a Flame Charge and a Brave Bird off against the Walrein. But it's not looking too good for me. So I think they just need to get to 2 Icicle Spears, which is the same as an Earthquake, and I think they're there. So I'll shield the first one anyway, just in case. And yeah, they got to the second one. Very good game to my opponent. Going into the last battle. If you've watched this long, it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It does a lot to help the channel, and liking the video, leaving a comment, all the things that you would normally do on a video that you're trying to support. And if you want to check out the channel Patreon or join my Discord, the links for those are in the description. So feel free, don't feel obligated to. If I get supporters on Patreon, that's fine. If not, I mean, I'm still going to be making videos, so completely up to you. But Quillfish on the lead, especially considering it has Aqua Tail spam, not very good for this team. It's not really a strong answer to it, and the Talonflame just gets wrecked by that Aqua Tail spam considering it's water type. Vigoroth on their Talonflame. I'm just going to let this go. And I'm thinking I might have been better off coming back in with my own Talonflame just to try and soak up a charge move or get some Incinerates off to weaken theirs. But I throw a Night Slash, get the last shield, so I'm up a shield. Gonna try and farm down if they weren't gonna throw, but since they threw, they beat me on CMP, and the Night Slash comes out anyway. So a little bit unfortunate that I couldn't save the shield or win CMP, but let's see what they come in with. It is a Shift Tree, and that's not looking too good. So they had a Quillfish with energy loaded. They bring that back in, take the Talonflame out, and I really needed to farm this down and then land a cross chop or 2 on that Shift Tree before I got taken out, but I did not. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.